Go live. Going live. I'm live. Okay, awesome. Good morning, YouTube, Bullish Bears people. Yeah, welcome to the community. Like I was telling everyone before, I'll be focusing on options at the bell, but then I will be talking about other stuff later on. So if you have any questions about certain stock, if you got questions about any other things like that, please feel free to ask. I will be hopping between rooms, so the YouTube room and the main room. So on YouTube, keep in mind you do have a delay of about 30 seconds, give or take. So by the time I see your question and then I'm able to answer your question, there is going to be a delay. If you want to avoid that delay, check out the description below. We got a 2-week free trial for the community. Hop into the full live room. You won't have a delay. You'll get direct access to us, and you get to check out some really great information through the courses, the blogs, things of that nature. So make sure you check out the description below. All right, I'm gonna hop back over to the main trade room here to get that set up. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and start taking a look at our macro thesis on things. So what do we got going on in the markets today? Well, we got a lot of fun. A lot of people have been saying that, oh, this is a dead cat bounce. This is nothing to be worried about. I do think it's a bit of a dead cat bounce, but I think it's a dead cat bounce that's going to persist for a little bit. So we are really setting up for a similar scenario to what we had in 2018. So this was our initial drop, and now we're somewhat into, as Kaufman would say, Mr. Toad's wild ride. We're back in that volatility box, the pain box, the hurt locker, whatever you want to call it. If we see a rejection in this 3116 area and we coast our way down, that will be all the confirmation that I need that confirms that we are back into that volatility box per se. So Globex opened yesterday. We got our little bit of a pop towards the open of that, and we made our move. Now we've had a lot of chop fest right through here. Let me double check just to make sure we don't have any major reports coming out. I do tend to forget that. 10 a.m. We've got the greenery from Japan, but other than that, yeah, no major things today. 250, we got a Fed speech, but nothing major overall during market hours. At 9:45, we do have business conditions index, but just some small econ stuff. Nothing that is macro through there. So I'm not looking for a huge economic style letter to drive us. Now, we could get a news report that does cause some panic that drives us. Again, remember, news doesn't cause, or well, I guess news causes movement, but news doesn't trade a stock. It's how people trade the stock that causes the movement. So, good morning, Modelo. There we go. For a second, I thought I said Madaya, and I was like, ooh, Madaya. So we do have support right here. We do have angled support right here on the ES. We've also got this 50% Fibonacci right through here. Let's see, just reading through. We do have the 50%. So I'm going to structure the idea that if and only if on the hourly we see the short-term moving average crossing our mean area here, and we're getting a solid candle print in these lower regions, I will look for us to not only break that 50% Fibonacci, but to coast our way down to 3,000 again. Right now, 3,000 is going to be that floor for today until we get a solid reason to break it. Now, that could be anything. The markets are looking for that next catalyst to drive us into that next move. So if I'm looking for a bearish play, I want to play it from about the 30-40 to the 3,000 area if I'm going for a longer term position right through here. Right now, we're stuck in this box. So until we are above 3,100, I'm not looking for a long play. I want good solid confirmation that we've broken that resistance right through there. Now, we could just as easily break that resistance before the bell hits, but 3,100 is that resistance. Right now, this is basically our opening range right through here. We do have a squeeze forming on the 15-minute, but it has not fired yet. So, could you play inside this range? Absolutely. But it's not the play that I'm looking for. I want to see us get some good, solid, punch in the gut right there at the bell. And I want to see us drive past one of these two zones, either this support zone or this resistance zone. We got to break out of that box. So let me go ahead and set my alert on that. So create alert. Guys, I opened up some more memory on my system. Wow, why is that being difficult? So I'm still getting some major lag, and I think a lot of it has in part to do with everything that I have open. It's just come to a time that I am going to upgrade my system. My system was fine before because I didn't have a lot of stuff open. I just had 1 or 2 charts, the stream, and maybe a YouTube video. But now between the stream, doing the chat room, Google, all the custom indicators and everything, yeah, it's time I'm gonna upgrade this rig once I do the move. So hopefully that'll help. I mean, Thinkorswim loves Thinkorswim is more CPU based than it is graphically based. So I'm just gonna have to upgrade. I'm probably gonna go with one of those new Ryzen setups and just get something that's a good high performance set. But even right now, I got 6 gigs RAM dedicated straight to this, and it's still choppy. So I don't much like it, but it is what it is. Got to make do with what we have. So looking for that break right through here. So if we get that break, that's going to initiate this trade. Now, how's that going to work? Alexander, I will see your 64, and I will raise it. What was one of those enterprise boards? I was watching one of those videos from Linus. They got like 128 gig set up. So, yes, Ramble, you do. So when you sign on to the Thinkorswim, you go down the little cog, and then click on that cog, and you'll be able to set the RAM on there, and you'll be good to go. No, I'm just gonna go with something massive. Yeah. It may be enough to at least run 1 or 2 windows of Chrome. Chrome is such a resource hog. Problem, yes. Rusty, I agree. Sometimes the biggest issue is between the keyboard and the armchair. All right, so I like what I'm seeing on ES there. So how does that transcribe into SPY for the trade I'm looking at on SPY? Come on. There we go. You're killing me, SPY. You're killing me. So let's see. We got 305 as our pre-market support. We have our resistance at 310. So our first resistance right here at 310. Let's get that coded as red. We see a 15-minute squeeze is showing. It is not printed, but it is showing. There it is, edit properties. Now we have our pre-market support right down here. This is from open, this is going to be about a $3 range for us to work with. So let me go ahead and get these contracts out of the way. Let me get this out of the way. Alrighty, so let's bring up our options chain right through here. I'm looking at the March 1s. $307.50. 310s are nice. They're a wee bit out. 309.50s. 309s. I'm looking at a 3010 call. I'm looking for what price we're going to be when we adjust right through here. So at the moment, I've got a 3010 call planned, but that could shift when the bell opens. I may go one strike in. Looking at things right through here. Let's see, current trade at 307. 308s will be at the money. 307s will be there. So 307s ought to be a bit expensive. I like the 306. I like the 306 we got here. So that 306 is going to get added to my puts. There we go. So now I have both of those. I have the call side and I have the put side plan. It should be uploaded. Angel handles those uploads. So if you go to the main, you go to courses and then you go to, I think it's recaps, but it's on the main webpage. It's through one of those banners. You'll actually see it says Trading Room Recaps. I can't remember if it's on Rooms or if it's on courses, but it'll be right in there. All right, so macro thesis on this. We had our movement up. The ES is in a range. Obviously, SPY is going to trade in correspondence with ES. So, if and only if our trend persists to the upside through here, and we have a 5-minute confirmation trend, I will follow that 5-minute confirmation trend to the next resistance point. So I'm going to enter plus either at the end of the 5-minute candle or the beginning of the life of the next one with a 30-second buffer. I like to enter trades at the end of the 30-second candle, or 30 seconds at the end of the candle, or the beginning 30 seconds of the next candle. There's about your prime entry points in there. So if we have 5-minute trend and it's persisting upward, I'm going to look to enter this trade from the close of that candle up to the next resistance point. If price action is too close to this resistance by the time that closes, I will wait to see a candle print above this and enter on that next candle. My profit target zone is 2 deltas. So if I enter at 310, I'm looking to get out at 312. If I enter at 306, I'm looking to get out at 304. So that is how I'm setting up my entry and exit. Alrighty, I do have those on the side over here. Let's bring it on a 5-minute to get a good look at things. Now, if you are playing multiple contracts, i.e. a 5-lot, a 10-lot, things of that nature, then you can use that as a scaling out point. We can see here on the Squeeze Pro that out of a mid squeeze, our average move through here is a run of 6 bars, and the average price is $1.54. This move has already occurred, so do keep that in mind. We are looking for a little bit of profit take at the bell, and then I want to see this make its way up. I want to see that squeeze fire, and then I want to enter my trade and then work with that trade up to 2 deltas. And that's all I'm looking for. I want to keep it nice and simple. Good morning, Ray. Yes, the stream is live just about every day, if I remember correct. Yeah, every morning it's live, but hop down in the description and you'll see the the information for the website. You can come check out the free trial, and there will not be a delay, but right now you get about a 30-second delay, so make sure you check that out and go from there. Yeah, Tesla is showing some good movement, but I will not be focusing on anything else but SPY as of right now. We were asked in the room beforehand about you know, how to trade, what to look for, things of that nature on the SPY and the QQQ. So I'm doing what the community asked for. I'm going to see if, are they even on, the person, one of the people that asked. Let's see. Yep. Just had to make sure. Because I knew I was going to get the question. Alrighty. So yeah, we got 5 minutes to the bell. We've got what we're looking for. We've already picked our strike right through there. It looks good. Got our coffee. All we have to do now is wait. It cost exactly $0 to wait for a good setup. There we go. Our low squeeze is firing. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. All right, we gotta wait for the first 5 minute shakeout on things, and then we'll look for the 5 minute trend. So, is what it is. First 5 minutes, play Sudoku, do some Tetris, just wait for the correct setup. Remember, anyone can just buy willy-nilly. But it takes a good trader to be able to know when to buy, when to initiate that trade. Chrysios, it's 2 strikes from the current price. So the current trading price right through there is what, 309.15. So you always go plus or minus 2 strikes. Oh, Dan playing with the charts again. Trend line master. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Make sure you check us out on Twitter. We post on Twitter, the Gram. Facebook, we got the Facebook community. I don't know if it's a social, we got it. So I think we got everything but a I don't know. I don't think we have a Snapchat. Maybe we do. I really don't know. Asar Abbas. I'll look at Tesla afterward, but because we're so close to the bell, I'm not going to talk about it right now. So, but a real quick, easy way for you to do it, look for the reversion points. Look for the reversion points right through there, and then you're able to draw your lines. That depends on what you're trying to do. So, your bridge, Chrysios, is... If something is 210, to keep the numbers easy, if something is 210, then that's your at the money, is 210. 2 strikes above or 2 strikes below is what you're really looking for. Yeah, I got a 309 right now is the strike on this one. I'm sorry, 310. But the price is 309. My call strike is a 310. My put strike is I want to say it's a 305. 304. 6. There we go. But I'm leaning bullish. I'm looking for a little bit of profit taking at the bell here. And then I'm looking for that move. Now, I am also watching the ES on the side here. So I can see how we open at the bell. And I also have that alert. Do we hammer through this at the bell or do we not? Yep, you're more than welcome. Gonna take us higher. Volatility. I don't know. We may get a copy strike for that one. If we get a copy strike for singing Volatility to Electric Avenue, that would really surprise me. But who knows? The YouTube algo is weird, to say the least. Let me make sure I turn this down. I don't want to bust everyone's eardrums. Alrighty, couple seconds to the bell. Let's see what our first 5-minute candle print is. There's the bell. Well, that was obscenely boring. I typically like the first 10 seconds. I love to see him just grenade one way or the other. That was obscenely boring. Alright, let's see what we do with this one. So we can see on our 5-minute chart here with the ES, we're starting to come back and test a little bit right through here, but we always want to wait for our 5-minute shakeout, and then we get our trade. We can see that we've entered back into the squeeze right in here, which is no big surprise. We have our profit taking in here. Price is building up. People are getting ready for the move. So we'll see how that works. Again, I really want to see my break above this to enter the trade. And then if we break our midpoint here, then I'll go for the short. But I need to see that candle close. So I need the confirmation. I am not an assumption trader. I do not get into trades on assumption. I want to see confirmation that this event has occurred. Can you make money with assumption trades? Yes, but you are opening yourself up to more risk on things. I want the highest probability move over the most trades. That way I am staying with the safest possible trades and making the most predictable amount of money that I can. At the end of the day, there's no dicking around with it. You got to be able to say, this is my strategy, this is what I'm sticking with, and this is what I'm going to persist with. It's not a hobby, it's not a game, it's something that you have to take seriously. So I can probably zoom in this a little bit more, and we'll get a little bit bigger candle. There we go. So we can see we've got our wicks right through here. And now that's what we're looking for. I was asked the question yesterday during a lesson, and I think it's really good to bring it up, is how much above or below a level constitutes a print? 80% of the candle. So if 80% of the candle is above or below a level, then it has pierced that level. Yeah, you'll get some wicks here and there, but if a majority of that candle is above or below the level that you've drawn out, then that is considered pierced. So, all right, we got our decisions being made right through here. ES is doing the same thing. It's trying to curl a little bit to the downside. It's at its mean support right now, so it is at a 5-minute support right here, this mean price. Alrighty. Three minutes 30. Yes, it's basically VWAP. I use a Keltner channel, but at the end of the day, the calculations are plus or minus maybe 2-3 cents. So, but your mean price is just the center over your averages. There we go. Looking good. We're getting into our next candle here, but we have not printed to our next candle. I want to see where this next candle's going. Let me check out the call flow on here. Call flow is a little light on those 310s. Yeah, I may need to swap over to the puts here. Ooh. Let's see. Make sure it's not a bear trap. All right, a couple more seconds to go. See where our next candle's opening up at. Looks like our next candle's going to open up down in here a bit. Yep, there we go. Now we are opening lower. The ES is showing the same song and dance at the moment. Now we are at a level. We have not printed below that level. Are we starting to? Yes, absolutely. But this is it printing. This is not it has printed. So right now I'm still not into the trade. I have not seen the confirmation I need to confirm this as a good trade. Now when you have a system that you're working with, yeah, volume is very light at the open. It's very, very light. When you have a system that you are working with, your process as a trader, you will miss a lot of trades. But the trades you do take will be high probability trades. That's why I know a lot of people go, oh, you're missing this, you're missing that. Look, I get it. I get that this is showing some action below it, but if you were to cut this candle up right through here, a majority of that action was still within this region. Nothing in the market at the moment is stating that we're going to have a heavy move down. I suspect the next candle will, but what we assume and what is reality are two completely different things. That's something to keep in mind. Very light volume all the way through. And again, with me being a trader that likes volatility, until we get that heavy movement, that reason for the move, there is a scenario of this to where I just do not take a trade because the conditions have not been met. It's perfectly fine to not take a trade. You got, what is it, 255 days out of the year? And if you are under PDT, you've only got 3 trades in every 5 days you can take. So why squander one of your very valuable day trades in a non-A+ trade? Let's see. We got another 2 minutes coming through. It's looking good to play this down. But man, we got a lot of chop. There's not a lot of range to mess with here. If this doesn't show us something in the next 5 minutes or so, I'm going to hop over to something else and just worry about that because my conditions weren't met. And then I'll just set alerts for the lower regions. All right, we're starting to look good. Starting to look good. see. Oh, come on. WinZip, that was like the worst possible time to do that. Yeah, look how light that was. So you see, we didn't get a heavy pierce below here. We did not have the volume to like punch down. There's not enough volume in this for me to take a trade. There's not enough participation in these things. So I'm just going to step away from this symbol. I had a trade plan together, but it's already 10 minutes into the market. Typically, I'm in and out of, 3, 4, 5 trades by now. The conditions are not being met for me to take this trade. So what do I need to do? I need to set the alerts for what I would like to see for the next trade. I want to see price below this 307. So I'm going to set an alert. So if we can get a solid price below 307, we're starting to show it, but even though price is going down on this, we're not seeing it reflected in our contracts. You see, even though price is starting to wick through, we're not seeing it just yet reflected in our contracts. That alert's probably about to go off, so give me a second here. But this is incredibly slow. Yeah. I do not trust this move. I do not trust this for continuation. So smart money says stay out of this until I see that confirmed squeeze right through there. So I'm not going to touch this even if that alert goes off on there. The conditions are not being met that I need. Now I am going to set a alert up here at the open because the next resistance is going to be at this open section here, which is also a whole dollar of 309. So if I want to go bullish, I want to see us breaking out of this move here. But right now, no, not touching this. So let me take a quick look at Tesla. That's been TSLA. That's been around the trader sphere a lot. See, even Tesla had a light open. So, and you go, oh, that's a $30 move. Look, the notional value doesn't mean jack. It's the fact of how violent was that move that came through. So we had pre-market resistance up here, and now we're at pre-market support. We didn't hammer through those levels. Unless you're hammering through those levels, you're just in a chop zone. Can you play the chop? Absolutely, but it is very, very difficult to play that chop if you don't know what you're doing. You need to be directionally correct within a very tight range through there. So, looking at it now on a macro point of view, let me put this up on a 15-minute. Dun dun. Yeah, this is a nice trend upward. We can see that price was down to its mean area right in here, but it hasn't hammered through it. The markets are very light at the open. They're very choppy right now. And there are times when the smart trader, just sit on your paws. That's all you got to do. Just sit on your hands, drink your coffee until the proper setup comes. Let's see. D, this is Creed. Creed with the bullish bears, Creed more. So OMER. Take a look at OMER. Nice spike right through here. So good stuff. We bring this on a 2-minute. So earnings move, good stuff. We had our pre-market setup here. We were in a symmetrical triangle setup. We got our volatility at the bell. See, this is what I was looking for in the SPY. This is what I was looking for in other stuff. You see this tenacity that this is punching with? That's what you want to see. Where do I think this is going to go? Well, first thing you got to do is bring it on a macro chart. See what has been the highest amount of resistance we've seen in recent areas. Well, we can see we're wicking and we're above that 16 level with some wicks. So at the moment, that $16 whole level is what we would be watching right in here. We want to see a solid print above. Now, not printing, we want to see a solid print above that 16 level. Above that 16 level, we can see right here, the most recent resistance area was 1740. So if this continued with its tenacity, I would watch 1650 for the $half moniker, then 17, then this 1740 right in here, the top of this candle. So that gives you 3 areas to use as you're scaling out of the position or looking to work that position. But your initial trigger is a full print above that 16 area. Yep, D, you're welcome. No problem at all. And yeah, peeps on YouTube, still feel free to ask questions on things. I'll do the best of my ability to answer them. Chris, seeing my thought process? Yeah, that's why I always harp so much about keeping a journal, because as of even right now, I can't remember everything I stated during that. But if you keep a journal, jot down the comments you make to yourself in that journal. That way, at the end of the day, you can go back and say, well, yeah, price is now showing what I had, but that's a hindsight look. You need to see what you were thinking and what the market was showing during the time you were looking to take the trade. So jot down, yeah, Carlos, like I said, what was it? The cash flow comedy. That's what it should be. Just all my journal entries. If I ever wrote a book, the cash flow comedy. And if you can't be real with yourself, then why do you even deserve to make money in the markets? If you're not able to be real with yourself, keep control of FOMO, all of the things you have to do as a trader, then why do you deserve money? Bring Apple on a 5-minute. So, okay, this is good. This is a great example of what I was wanting to happen on the SPY. Okay, so we have a higher price thing. Our pre-market level up here, our pre-market low down here. 5-minute, early warning. First 10-minute candle here, we got a huge print and it just blasted through these pre-market levels. That second candle print was well below these pre-market levels. That candle is the one that you would go, this is a good trade. And now we can see it's making its way down to a designated support level right here. 293.91. Let's keep the numbers easy. 294. Let's keep it easy. So we've gotten a nice signal candle. It confirmed a tenacious break of that pre-market support. Good entry on the beginning or last 30 seconds of that candle. Playing that move down, you would have made a move from, let's say you got in late. Let's say you got in down here at the 297.85 level and you were playing it short. 297 all the way down to current price of 295. Even with that, that's 2.5 deltas right through there. but it's because you waited on the right signals. That's what you got to work with. And it's laying all of that information out. Now, there's a similar strategy to this. This is what's known as an open range breakout. So you have your pre-market levels, and when price has broken those pre-market levels one way or the other, that is the breakout. Now, you as a trader and as an individual in these markets have to designate what is enough confirmation for me to confirm that this breakout will continue. Is it a close of this candle? Is it half of this candle? Is it a moving average cross? No one can tell you exactly what that's going to be, because you as an individual, your mentality on certain things, you're going to have a certain amount of bias to begin with of, I want this much confirmation. I like to use the example. Let's say you're at a stoplight and you're waiting there. You got an officer sitting to your left or your right of you there, and you see that it's a red light, and you're like, oh, this is about to change. How far up are you willing to scoot before you see that green light going? You know, are you willing to just go ahead and roll right through it? Or, how much confirmation that light's about to change do you need? You know, because you got a guy right beside you who he's going to pop on those blue lights and go, hey, guess what? You just got a $200 ticket. You just lost that $200 for rolling through a red light. Same thing on this. If you do not wait for enough good confirmation, there's a possibility you're going to get that air quote ticket and then lose that money. Stones, you're playing with INO. Let's take a look at it. INO, great pre-markets. Oh, that's another thing. All right, so if you're looking to trade shares in the pre-market, and on many of them, you've got to make sure that your order that you're putting in is an EXT order. So you can do that. Dun dun, dun dun. Your TIF, your time enforcement. EXT, you have to make sure the order has an EXT on it. That means that it is able to be executed in the extended hours. Your cash session is your day. The cash session is from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. Anything before that and anything after that is extended hours. If you put in an order that is a day order or a GTC order only, then they will only fill during the cash session. If you put it in as an extended or a GTC extended, then it will execute in the extended hours market. Let's see, right through here, $5 acting as support, getting a 5-minute squeeze. We're in a somewhat really shabby looking flag setup right through here. I would structure the idea that if and only if we see a 5-minute trend to persist below the $5 mark, then I would look to play this position down from $5 to $4.75. We can see that is an area, while the wicks did get above it, a majority of the price action was using that as a testing area. So 5 to 4.75. Now a bullish thesis on this would dictate that if and only if we get a turnaround in momentum right through here, and we are holding that 5-minute trend, if and only if we print above the 15-cent buffer, so 5.15, I would look from 5.15 to 5.23 to take off the first part of the position. After that, I'd look for 5.23 to 5.40, and then watch that 50-cent area as a resistance zone. So, oh, you didn't know that about extended? Yeah, that's why I try and think or swim has so many nuances. All right, so finally we're seeing some stuff in the SPY. But this has already been what? 25 minutes after? There was no tenacity. The only reason I'm noticing this is because I kept the ES up. And actually even still with our chart. we're just now getting into our bottom basin right through here. There's no tenacity with this move. So we can see the squeeze is still setting up. Our moving average is starting to cross, so we're seeing some good signs. But we're also approaching 10 o'clock. And for those that have been traders long enough know that 10 o'clock is the perfect time for a reversal. So there we go. Now we're getting our signal. This is looking good. I like what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead. I got one out there for 470. If I get the fill, then awesome. If I don't, it is what it is. Probably end up being the last 30 seconds of the candle when I get the fill. Marks are already up at 490, so it's probably not going to fill. It's the same. I'm still going with the plan. We're just going for the bearish plan now. There we go. I got my fill. So good stuff. So bearish thesis. We break through here. PT1 was here. The next profit after this, so we see right through here our counts on things. We typically get about a 5 point. We get a 5 squeeze run right through here, brings us down to that 304. So I'm looking for that 304 region right through here. Now that does correspond also with what we're seeing right through here, this lower 50% level we spoke about. By the time we get to that region, we're going to be around 304.50, give or take. So I've got that out at I'm looking to sell it out at 499, which is well within our region to work with here. I like what I'm seeing. So this is a sitting order. The only reason I'm doing this sitting order is because I'm talking, I'm chatting, I'm doing all that fun stuff. So I want to see, as I'm going through charts, I want this to run in to my order. So while I'm ultimately looking for that 304, I've already got my order set in here with what I'm considering a responsible level, and I'm looking for this to run right through it. Now we can see back in here, this 304 acted as resistance yesterday, so it should act as support today. So I want to get out before we reach that area. All right, YouTube, it's 10 o'clock, so fun and excitement. If you want to see more non-delayed information, getting things checked out, whoa, what the heck was that? What did we get? We didn't have any economic reports coming out. What did I miss? We just had the Japanese greenery. That's all we had. Oh, you're... Oh, man. Oh, man. Talk about... Alright, so that's just one of those things that happens. Things happen. 50 basis point cut. Oh, man. Sorry, I just got to chuckle at that a little bit. I mean... Oh... Oh, all you can do is work with it. Like I said, this is a profession over averages. I mean, tell me, anyone see that coming? You know? Oh no, I didn't stop out. I'm looking for this to recover. I'm looking for this to make its way back through. So that's the initial shock of things. Once the markets gain back their composure, I'll get out of the trade. Yeah, I'm obviously going to exit the trade for a bit of a loss, but man, obviously I did not see that coming. Isn't that hilarious? Oh man. No, that wasn't. No. There's been plenty of talk of they were thinking to do it, but nobody stated at any point that they were going to do it. So, you know, there was no way to know exactly when that was coming out. And we didn't have any Fed talks or anything today, to the best of my knowledge. I mean, we had nothing going on. But good old Fed waiting for 10 o'clock. So it is what it is. You know, that's life. Things happen. That's why, that's another reason you never want to put, you know, a large portion of your account onto something. You know, that's the whole thing. That's why we always harp. You never want to put 50% of your account, 100% of your account. I doubt anybody saw that thing coming right through there. So it is what it is. You know, you just got to work with it. You're like, oh God, I lost this one position. Ooh, it's just one position. Measure yourself into 100 positions. Over 100 positions, what have I done? You know, that's the thing. Even, what was it, broken clocks right twice a day? So, you know, things happen. So, alrighty, YouTube. I'm glad you guys got to see that, because you get to see my reaction when things like this happen. And it is what it is. So what I'll do is I'll wait for markets to, you know, regain their composure from L stupidity. And then I'll exit the trade. I'm going to exit the trade for a loss, obviously. But, you know, and I'll just move on to the next trade. That's all I do. So, alrighty, YouTube, great stuff. Check us out in the description below. You can get more non-delayed content. You'll be able to see a bunch of other great stuff. Check out the courses, social medias, all of those things. YouTube, as always, remember, your trades are in the history. And I'll see you around. Stay safe, guys.